Okay, welcome back, friend. Today is going to be a real chord rabbit hole journey for both of us, probably. It's been a while. We're covering the Cmaj7 sharp 5. You've heard it. It's in one of the most famous guitar introductions ever written, in my opinion, and the opinion of many. And it's here's the sound. Open position. Yeah. The chord consists of the 1 in C, 3, the sharp 5, and then the major 7. Yeah. What are we going to do with this thing? Whew. So, we could approach an F chord. But it doesn't really fit in the major scale system. So let's talk about that journey today. This is a really great chord to just be aware of because it comes from, let's relate it to first the C scale, the C major scale. So we have a root, a 3, a 5, and a root in the C major chord, correct? Yeah. So we have 1, 3, 5, and then 1. I'm just going to take it slowly because unlike all of these other chords that I've been practicing since university, I haven't used this chord and all of its inversions and applications in my day-to-day living like others may have been. I don't know this chord as well as the D chord, so we're kind of in the same boat. And we'll learn the C major scale today. We'll learn the A melodic minor scale, which is going to be a derivative of the A scale, of the C scale. And that C scale is going to be C. Right here, we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, open B, and then C in open position. I really like this voicing of the Cmaj7 sharp 5. It's got a really nice sort of ring to it, you know, especially with the TC Electronic flashback delay pedal on it. You know, I've got it set to the tape delay. There are like 10 delay pedals in one on this pedal, so it's a real cool thing to line into your guitar through the cable, from the guitar through the cable into the line, and then again into the amp. It's a really great tool, you know, in my opinion. And I have my, you know, an Ernie Ball volume pedal, so I'm not kind of continually racking over here. So if you hear volume swells and then you don't know where they're coming from, it's coming from the Ernie Ball pedal on my left foot. So you can still see my leg move a little bit. So we have the root 3, sharp 5, and then 7. We have the root 5, sharp 5, 7, and 3, just in a different configuration here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is adjust my tone knob down a little bit. And then I'm moving up to the next arrangement, you know, the next inversion of this chord. So because it's the chord rabbit hole, we're just going to go through all of the inversions on the 4 middle strings for now, and then we'll get to that really famous song that this chord is part of. Okay, that you're going to be like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't recognize that sound. Well, you know, it leads into and out of the chord where we would never know, you know, what it is. It doesn't sound like, and it's been played on the radio millions of times probably. Yeah, I know, it's just mind-boggling. And then we have the next one, so C is right here, so we're going to use the next inversion of C major 7 sharp 5 right here. So we have a sharp 5, a root, or we'll call it G sharp, E, C, E, and then B. And this is another one of my really favorite voicings of this. So we have the sharp 5, root 3, major 7 on the top, and it's just a great sound. Yeah. We need one more voicing of this, and then we have the complete listing of variations of inversions here on the 4 middle strings. 4 C sharp major 7. C major 7 sharp 5, C major 7 augmented, you know, so here's C major 7. You know, any number of James Taylor or Gordon Lightfoot songs, or any number of, but this one, you know, whew, mind blown, doesn't fit in any of those categories. So we have the 7, the 3, 7, 3 sharp 5, and then the 1. So this is a little bit for me like playing the A chord, you know, with 3 fingers in open position, because my fat fingers don't really fit all that well on second position. So I usually opt for the lazy A. But similar to this shingling of the fingers, you know, stacking of the fingers, we've got to figure out a way to kind of use second finger, third finger, and then the first finger bars the top 2 strings. Of course, we're talking about the top 2 middle strings. So we have B, E with fingers 2 and 3 on frets 14 and 14, and then 13 and 13. Boy, that's spooky. Just a great sound. Oh, I'm getting some dings on my phone. I forgot to silence my phone. Real life, kids. All right, so I may have to get up and take care of that. So another variation of this here would be to do the C major scale. Right, when we use the C major scale, the notes from the C major scale easily transform into the notes from the A natural minor scale, which is all of the same notes, but we just start on A and end on A, right? So if you just follow me along a little bit further here, we're going to answer this really deep, complicated question with ease in just one moment. Just hang in there. Just, you can do it. Let's do it. So we have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So we have 1, 2. This is important. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and then 1. You know, huge rock and roll concert. So we have, right, so there's this really nice A natural minor that's related directly to the C major scale. But where does that other note, that G sharp, come from? Well, it's not harmonic minor. It could be harmonic minor, but it's not. We're going to expand this concept a little bit to include the C major 7 sharp 5 sharp 11. So we're going to add that F sharp in there too. So the F sharp is an important note. So check out that voicing. It's a great one, and you're going to love it. Oh, there's the chord from the famous song. I hope you got it. So what we're doing now, we're moving, aren't we? We're moving a little bit from that C major 7 sharp 5 to include the sharp 4 as well, or the sharp 11, because we want to use don't forget to play, you know, when we play the new C major scale version that goes along with this chord, we can't get this chord without understanding where the scale is coming from, which scale is being used to build that chord. It's not a situation of the, you know, the chicken or the egg. I think it's a philosophical discussion, certainly, but, you know, you can't have a chord without harmony, and you can't have harmony without, well, can you have a harmony without a chord, or you can't have a scale without a chord? You know, those are interesting discussions, you know, maybe offline we can talk about existentialism, I guess, but we've got this beautiful 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, major 7, and 1, which produces this harmonic bed for this chord to live in, right? To have a place to be relatable. And that's kind of the point, right? You can immediately understand that this becomes, so if we moved, let me just bear with me for a minute. Let me just explain what this thought is here. So if we move from the C major scale, we know this and love it so much. We've basically grown up with it. And we do this to it. We alter it, provide a sharp 4 and a sharp 5, two different alterations. Then we have something that's no longer like, well, it's major because it has a major 3, but it also is a sharp 4, a sharp 5, and a 6, and a major 7, and then a root. So it has all of the makings of a major sort of sound. The major, right? The 3 being major. And then if we do that same scale, starting from A, which we can because there was an A note in the scale. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and then A. What we have here is the A melodic minor scale. And so that A melodic minor scale is going to give us access to all of the notes that we need to get to this scale. Chord number 2 in Stairway to Heaven, right? There we go, a little more volume probably, huh? So what we've got to do is remember that a melodic minor usually is different when it ascends than when it descends, right? So the A melodic minor will be 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, and then raised 7th, and then root note. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And then descending, it would be the regular natural minor. Typically, all of the major lifts that we need to get, you know, give us the advantage to go up the scale are there, present, with the exception of the minor 3rd. But definitely the major 7 pushes, the 6 pushes, and then on the way down we have we feel a shift in weight where we get bigger steps away from the root notes and closer, just easier to descend. So that's the typical melodic minor or scale. But we're playing the jazz melodic minor today. That's where this chord really lives. It comes from, and it's a derivative of the jazz. It's the A melodic minor or jazz melodic minor scale, I think we call it. I had a great professor or teacher in the university, Gary Whitner, and he's a monster with all of this major 7 sharp 5 stuff. So if you really want to go down a rabbit hole, start listening to Mr. Whitner, and just bring a helmet and a chin strap because it's going to be it could be a while before we're really ready to absorb some of his playing. But once you do, man, poof, watch out. So we've got this A. We're just going to play A melodic minor up here, A jazz melodic minor on 5th position, just to get a feel for it. Same thing as down here in open position, but we're using we have 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, and then 1, 2, 3, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1. Now, if we relate that back to the C scale and put the C up here on fret number 8 on the low E string, we have 1. C is now 1. A is no longer 1, all because we can shift what we call 1, right? The new root note is C, right? Because we have a C major 7 sharp 5 chord. C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C. So the scale is a lot different, and it's asking our fingers to do stuff that we're not used to, playing in positions that we're not necessarily. Well, we have to have that natural 6. See how our tendency is to tonicize that flatted 6 into the program, but it's up and down, major 6. And B, C, right? So if we have that C chord, well, let's just do a little bit of that groove here. Let's turn this over to the looper. See, this is another benefit of this chord, right? So we have 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is only for exercise purposes here, right? So we got. Something. Sometimes we can use a melodic minor here too, right? And it makes more sense because we can use 3 notes per string in this position, 3rd position, actually 4th position with a finger stretch, right? You'd never know that was the Stairway to Heaven chord, right? That's just crazy. So we've got inversions of that chord all over the guitar neck too that we can have fun and find. And we won't have the, very soon you can find the lesson binder, the full lesson binder for this thing in the description below, and really have a field day with it. But I think that's about all of the exposure we're going to do to this today. You can just kind of hang out and watch some of this painting happen, as I channel Bob Ross a little bit. We're just familiarizing ourselves with a Cmaj7 sharp 5 and sharp 11 because we're playing, remember, a jazz melodic minor. And that's got a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, a natural 6, a natural 7. Some really big outlander sounds that are only expressed through this modality, right? Through this scale system. It's, you can create little riffs and little patterns to kind of blow your way through this thing, but I would recommend taking some time, just enjoying the melody, just enjoy making melody with this newfound technology. So we have a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, 7, and then 3, back to 1. So here's the sound of each chord tone against each scale tone against the chord of the moment. 1 still functions as home. 2 still functions as pulling away from home. But we're going to use 3 is still major, still, happy, still. These are questions we're going to have to ask ourselves as we sort of surf through this newfound wave. The sharp 4 is definitely a floaty place. Sort of an altered version of the Simpsons quote there. So the sharp 5 is definitely that little whole tone sequence at the bottom tetrachord pretty much of the scale is a really important thing to remember, But there's that saving grace of the major 7 there that reminds us, oh yeah, the root note is C, and then so it guides the ear to kind of once in a while play the 7, and you can hang on to it and then resolve it. Still there's that A, which is that pastoral sound. But it sounds different in this application, doesn't it? The 6, the major 6 is almost always a beautiful pastoral sound, but it's a different use. The major 7 is helping our ear to be observant of the root note. Really funny stuff. And I guess what I'll do is I'll stop that stuff. And thank you for coming today. I really appreciate you getting here. It got a little heavy. But, you know, you can keep referring back to this video and look for resources, because if the binder's not there yet, it will be. And I really appreciate you continuing the journey. This is just the beginning. This is only the tip of the iceberg in this series. Last week, I released the G5 power chord video that didn't get any views, almost no views at all. And I'm not sure why, because there's a ton of really great information in that video. I would encourage you to check that one out too, because it basically turns your acoustic guitar into a powerhouse. It's a beautiful thing to check out. G5 isn't what we think. You know, it's a much more explosive, sort of finely tuned sound for the guitar. So check that out too. And until we meet again, I bid you a good day and a good week and a good practice session, multiple good practice sessions coming up. And until then, until we meet again, happy picking.